guys, I hope y'all are having a great day today. I am having a wonderful day because today is my birthday. I turned 41 today and I just feel so happy and blessed to see another birthday. So for today's video, I just wanted to show y'all how I did my birthday makeup. I'm not going anywhere, not doing anything special today, but I just felt like, you know, playing in some makeup, and I have gotten some requests to start doing more tutorials and more looks, which I'm very happy about because those are actually like my favorite types of videos to do. So I just wanted to walk y'all through how I did my makeup for today. So I hope that y'all like it. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what you think about the hair. The jury is still out on the hair because this swoop is feeling like a little extra for me, but I needed something just a little shorter. So let me know what y'all think about it. So I hope that y'all like it. So before we get into the tutorial, if you're here for the first time, hello and welcome, and thank you so much for stopping by. My name is SonyaNicole and I do makeup videos here, including some stuff for us 40 and over makeup lovers. So if you're interested, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you join and I would really appreciate all of your support. Okay y'all, let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're going to be doing the eyes for today, and I'm finally going to be using the Natasha Denona Retro palette. So let's start off with a little bit of concealer first. This is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. This one is in the shade Chestnut, and I really like using this as a primer. I started using it as a primer just to kind of use this product up so it wasn't like sitting around. But I like using this because even though it's called Radiant Creamy Concealer, I think it has like a pretty matte finish. It's not drying on your face or on your skin, but like it's matte enough to where it makes for a really nice, kind of like almost like a tacky base for a primer. But it's not, like I said, it's not anywhere near drying on the skin. So I think it just works really well for eyeshadow primer. So this actually used to be my favorite like under eye concealer until I came across other ones that were a lot more like hydrating, even though I don't think that this one is drying. So now I just use this for an eyeshadow base. Okay, so going into this palette now, I will say I was really excited about this when it came out, and I decided to treat myself to this for my birthday, but I will say that I'm not as excited about it as I thought I was going to be, and I actually kind of had a hard time like playing around with this today. So I already did this eye. This one is partially done. Y'all can let me know in the comments when I'm doing these types of videos if you want to see the process of me coming up with my eye look, but I usually do the first eye off camera just to make the video shorter, but y'all can let me know if y'all want to see like that whole process too. But this was actually my second go round coming up with the look for this palette, because the first one I just thought it looked like just too bland and I didn't like it. So I scrapped that and I went with like something totally different. But I initially went with like some purple, like a purple theme. So I used this color, this one, a little bit of this in the inner corner, most of the shades like around in this area, and I just did not like the way that it came out. So I switched it up a little bit. So I'm gonna start off with this color here in the middle. This is like a nice like taupey shade, and that's gonna be like the main shade that I'm gonna have on my lid for today. So I'm just patting this on the majority of my lid, almost like maybe like 2/3 of the lid, I guess. And then I'm gonna eventually go over that with another layer, like using my finger just to make the color like pop a little bit more. But before I do that, I'm gonna use the other side of that brush, and I'm gonna go into this brown shade here. I usually don't pay too much attention to like shade names. I just don't for whatever reason, but these shades, they do have names to them. And I don't know if you guys remember the Natasha Denona Glam palette. You know how you can pop the colors out and like switch them around? You can do the same with this one too. So I'm just putting this one on the outer corner, and then before I finish, let me put a little bit more of this shade on here. Before I finish with the top part of the look, I'm gonna go onto the bottom lash line, and I'm gonna go in with this shade here. This is kind of like a almost like a deep burgundy, like maroon type color, and I'm gonna put this on the entire lower lash line. And then I'm going to top it with something else because when I put this over here, it just didn't give me quite the color that I was expecting. So I'm going to go right back into that brown shade that I have on the outer corner with the same brush. And then I'm just going to go right on top of that burgundy maroon shade on my lower lash line. I actually feel like on this eye I might have inverted the colors. I think I did the brown one first and then went on top of it with the maroon shade, but no big deal. And then I'm just kind of bringing it up into that outermost corner, and then with that same brush, so I'm just picking up the two colors together and just putting that like right on the immediate outer part of the upper lash just to deepen it out just a little bit more. Alright, I'm going to go back into this taupey shade here, and I'm going to pick some of that up with my finger and go over this color one more time just to make it a little bit more pigmented. I think this is my favorite shade in this palette. It's like a really nice silvery taupey shade, and I have a palette from Milani that has a very similar shade to it, and I think I had that similar shade in two of my ColourPop palettes. I really love like taupey color, so that is like a really pretty color to me. What am I doing next? I am picking up my small blending brush, and I'm gonna go in with this like muted purple shade here, and I'm gonna use that to kind of buff everything out. This eye is going a lot faster than the first one. That's why I said I usually do the first eye like off camera, because now I kind of know what I'm doing. It took me forever to do this eye, especially since I had to do it over. But even with like doing this second look, it took me a really long time to get it together, because I don't know, it was like each time I tried a shade, it just like wasn't giving what I thought it was gonna give. So I kept having to like switch up when I was doing the first eye. I'm just cleaning up the outer part here. I feel like I need to go on just with a little bit more of the taupey shade. I feel like it's just not as vibrant on this eye as it is over here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do my inner corner a little bit later on, but I am gonna do my eyeliner and mascara now. So I'm going in with my Hank & Henry eyeliner. This is the one that I use most often, or at least lately, but you guys have seen me use this quite a bit lately. And then I decided to try the new Rare Beauty mascara. It's not like super new anymore, but this came out maybe a couple months ago, but I decided to get a mini one of this just because I have so many other mascaras that I really need to go through. So based on how the mascara applied over here, I can tell that this is one that I would really like. But if you want to try this mascara out, I would say just get the full size. Don't bother getting the mini, because I find that it's just kind of hard to apply this, because I wish I had like a longer wand to work with. I just feel like I can't apply it correctly because like this thing is like really close to my eye. I'm gonna put one more layer of the Rare Beauty mascara on, but before I do that, on my lower lashes, I'm gonna use this Ilia mascara, because the brush head is just a lot more defined, so it's just easier for me to get to the lower lashes. I can't do my lower lashes with such a thick wand, and it's so short, so I'm just going in with a different one for the lower lash line. I'm just putting on a little bit more of that eyeshadow because I did get a little bit of mascara on my lid on top of the eyeshadow, so I'm just trying to like cover that up. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of these two shades for the lower lash line and just add a little bit more because I feel like I have more on the other eye. Okay, so I don't know if it's because like this palette is just not as exciting to me as I thought it was gonna be, but I feel like with this eye look, you really can't appreciate it until you see like the whole, like the finished look, because to me it just kind of looks like, I don't know, like nothing really is happening on my eyes, but we'll see what it looks like when we get to the end of the routine. So we will put the final touches on the eye look a little bit later on, but now we're going to move on to the face, and I am actually going to be using a primer today. So just in case you're a little new here, I like never use foundation primer, but my skin has been acting up for like the past couple of weeks. I'm going to use the Touch and Soul No Poreblem primer. So I have acne prone skin, so I am very used to having breakouts here and there, but even with me dealing with my breakouts, I feel like my skin right now is just a little bit more textured than it usually is, and that usually happens when my allergies act up. Like when I'm all congested, it kind of like shows through my skin. I don't know if one is related to the other, but all I can tell you is that always happens to me, and I've been dealing with allergies for like the past like couple of weeks now. So that's why I'm going in with a primer for today. And then for my foundation, so I like to try to switch things up a lot just because I do have a lot of makeup to get through, and I feel like I used this combination kind of recently, but I really like it, so I'm going to be doing it again. So I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath foundation, and then a little bit later on I'm going to be setting it with that NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. I just really like how that combination looks on me, so I'm going to be using it again today. I feel like this might be the third video in like the past, I don't know, 6 or so videos that I've done where I've been using this combination, but I just really like it. So I'm in the shade MD, I think this is 22. Yeah, I'm in the shade MD 22 in this foundation, and I'm blending it out with my Morphe E63 brush. And this one, for those of you who think about maturing skin and premature aging and all of that, this one is really good for people who want to have a good amount of coverage with not a whole lot of product on the face. One of my favorite foundations. Yes, expensive, but worth it, I would say. So I'm gonna stop right there, which I think this is like a good medium coverage, but I'm gonna stop right there because my NYX powder is also going to give me some coverage. So before I move on to my under eye concealer, I think I'm going to put on a couple of concealers. I'm going to start off with the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. This is shade SX13, and I'm picking up a very tiny bit of this because a little bit of this concealer goes a very long way. So I like to put this on underneath my under eye concealer, kind of like as a corrector. I don't do this every day just because honestly most days I just kind of don't feel like doing it, but I would say on days where I feel like I really need a little something extra on my under eye area, or if I'm just going for like a super like more glam than usual look, I'll put this on. But it is like really super high coverage. I'm also going to put a little bit of this on the sides of my mouth, which I wish I had thought to do this like before I put my foundation on, but oh well. And because I put that Kevyn Aucoin concealer on, I'm not going to need too much of my second concealer. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. One of my favorites, I would say my second favorite. I just haven't used this one in a while because I have been using the ABH concealer, and I don't like that one as much as this one in my Too Faced, but it's good enough to where the ABH one, it's good enough to where I'm going to keep using it until I pan it, but I probably wouldn't repurchase it. But this one, I like this one because it's really nice and creamy, not drying at all, and it has like really good coverage. Okay, and then I'm just going to switch to a more dense brush. Let me just get around the mouth a little bit better. but I like to use a more dense brush for the under eye. This also helps to give more coverage when you're using something a bit more dense. It just won't sheer the product out as much, which is why I don't like using sponges for my under eyes. I know a lot of people like doing that, but I like using a brush because I feel like it just gives you even more coverage. And then I'm also using my concealer brush to try and like clean up the corners of the eyeshadow. Alright, I'm going to go back into my foundation brush one more time, and I like to just pat kind of like everywhere where I have foundation and concealer meeting each other. Okay, I kind of feel like we can already start to appreciate the eyes because like my base is like a lot better looking now. So I think we're on the right track here. All right, let me set my under eye. This is the L'Oreal powder. This is the super blendable powder. Yeah, I think it's called super blendable powder. This one is in the shade C5. So I'm just gonna set my immediate under eye area. And then I'm going to switch up my order of application just a little bit. So typically I would do my setting powder next, but I think I'm going to do blush, then bronzer, then setting powder, and put my setting powder on like on top of everything else. So I am going to be trying a new bronzer today, and I need to pull out a different brush to apply this with. Okay, this is the Say Beauty, when I said new, I meant new to me. This is the Say Beauty Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer in the shade Deep Bronze. I've been wanting to try this since it came out, but I kept saying I don't need another bronzer, but I decided to go ahead and treat myself to this for my birthday. So this is what it looks like. So much deeper than bronzers that I typically would use, but I felt like the shade lighter than this was going to be too light, so I figured if anything I could put like some powder on top of this and lighten it up if I need to. So I'm gonna start off with just a little bit of this. I think I'm gonna put this on my cheeks first. What am I doing? I meant to do my blush first. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me do my blush first. This is the NYX Sweet Cheeks blush in the shade Summer Breeze. I feel like doing my blush first, it helps me to like prevent myself from bringing my bronzer down too far. Because I used to always do bronzer then blush, and then I just started switching them around because I feel like I just don't need both of them to be like so far down on my cheek. This right here is getting on my nerves. It's like a little cluster of breakouts. I don't know if y'all can make it out, but that's driving me crazy. But that's one of those things that like popped up on my face when I started sneezing every 5 minutes. But anyway, okay, so let's go back to this this bronzer. And because I'm not quite sure, I think I really like the way that that looks. Because I'm not quite sure like how deep it's gonna look on me, that's why I wanted to put it on my cheeks first. That way I can kind of determine what I need to do when I go on my forehead. It's just gonna be a little bit less noticeable on here than it will like on my forehead. Even though with this new hair, most of my forehead is gonna be covered up. But still, I really like this. This isn't too deep for me at all. It definitely is deeper than other bronzers that I use, but I don't think it's too deep at all. I really, really like this. Really like that. Let me switch to another brush. I'm just switching to a smaller brush so I can also put some of this on my nose. And then I like to take whatever I used to apply my foundation, and I like to use that to soften the bronzer back out on the nose. Let me know what y'all think about that bronzer. I really like it so far. Okay, now I'm going to go in and set my face. So I don't think that I need to rely on my setting powder to lighten up the bronzer at all. I really like the way that this shade of bronzer looks on me, but I'm gonna go in and set my face. I think I might start doing this all the time, like doing bronzer, blush, bronzer, and then setting powder, and then just use my setting powder to just like set kind of on top of everything. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder in the shade Tan. And like I was saying earlier, I really like this Pat McGrath foundation when it's set with this NYX powder. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the NYX powder kind of like around the bronzer and blush for now, and then I'm just going to take the residual and then plop it on top of the bronzer and blush. So I don't know if it's because like the weather is getting colder, but like all summer long, I would say for most of 2021, I really have been liking like a really nice glowy, almost like dewy finish on my face, even though I have oily skin. But lately I've been wanting more of like a matte finish, like a softer matte finish, and I just really like the way that this finish looks on me with that foundation set with that powder. I think it's like a really nice combination. Okay, I'm gonna set everything with my Fenty spray. If you ever go in with setting spray after you've already put on your eyeliner and mascara, make sure you cover your eyes. I was supposed to cover my eyes just because sometimes the setting spray might make your mascara kind of loosen up a little bit, so just keep that in mind if you ever try that. Okay, so finishing up with lips, I'm gonna go in with my Lawless Beauty Forget the Filler Definer Liner. This one is in the shade Honey Rose, and I really like this to the point where it's a $21 lip liner, and I used to always say to myself, like, you know, a lip liner is a lip liner. There's really no need in paying like more than drugstore prices for a lip liner, but I feel like this one is really nice. I might get like another, like this one in a brown shade too, because I really like this. This one is almost like a, maybe like a deep like mauve-y shade to it. And I'm gonna finish everything off with the Dose of Colors X Nema Tang lipstick, and the name of this shade is Penny, and it's a really nice cool brown lipstick shade. Okay, I zoomed y'all out just a little bit so y'all can see the completed look. So let me know what y'all think about my birthday look. I definitely have to take some pictures because I really like the way that this look came out. I'm not going anywhere today, so I definitely need to take advantage of this because I really like it. So I hope that y'all like it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video today, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel before you head out, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.